The High Court of Delta State, sitting in Obiaruku, has granted leave to a councillor of Ukwane local government area to commence Mandamus proceedings against the chairman and treasurer of the council over alleged failure to disclose the council's financial records as required by the law. The order was made by Justice Okeleke following an ex parte application filed by the lead partner of Evans Ufeli Chambers on behalf of Chukwuemeka Victor, a councillor representing Ward 19, Izunom Kingdom, Ukwane local government area of the state. In granting the application, the court held that the applicant had established sufficient interest to approach the court being served as a councillor of the local government and consequently ordered the application to be granted as prayed. Now, joining us for this development is lawyer and public affairs analyst Evans Ufeli. He joins me on the news this hour. Glad to have you on the news.
Very well, thank you.
The President of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, has been speaking tough on the compliance on local government autonomy after the landmark Supreme Court judgment. How well do governments at the grassroots comply with the local government establishment laws?
Many of the local government areas in Nigeria are in collusion with governors of states actually violate local government establishment laws. Okay, in the case under reference in the Ukwane local government area of Delta State, the local government chairman, Positive Bajede, have consistently violated the local government establishment law of Delta State by refusing to publish financial records, performance index, and all issues of compliance that relates to good governance at the local government level. Now, this case was instituted to ensure that compliance is meted out. But the problem we have is that they have failed to do that. They went ahead and presented, a 2026 budget without taking care of all these publications and all these compliances as it relates to the law. Okay? And the third defendant, which is the local government itself, went ahead and passed that budget on the 4th of February. And that compounded everything. Okay? And so the local government chairman himself, Possible Ajede, who is a lawyer who should know what contempt means, refused to act based on the issues and the provisions of law. When the matter is in court, parties are supposed to maintain the status quo ante bellum. That is, the parties are expected to stay away from any action, especially when part of the prayers, of the applicant relates to the fact that there should be no presentation of any budget until the local government chairman and the treasurer of the local government have complied with the Delta State Local Government Establishment Law 2017. And you find out that when you go across the country, you see that there's this common violation. And what they do is that in the case of Delta, you can't trace how much comes to the Delta State coffers and how much is expended. They don't want to publish it because they know that they are full of corruption. Part of the funds meant to fund the Delta State local government areas are being used to offset the money that Okowa embezzled, the former governor of Delta State. And so we are saying that by this act, we must establish that the local government chairman must be responsible to people and answerable to the people at the local government level. Because what they do is that they are only subservient to the governors, the deputy governors, and past governors. But when it comes to the people that put them there, that they should represent, they do not represent those people. And that is why it is critical for us to push up cases like this to ensure that compliance comes at every level. The president has said that the local government should be given autonomy and the local government should be well managed. The Supreme Court has also handed down judgment to that effect. Well, how is it that in Delta State, virtually all the local governments, more importantly, the Ukwane local government have refused to comply with laid down procedures.
Let me quickly jump in now. In the case on that reference, why did the Ukwan local government chairman refuse to publish the records of revenue and expenditure of the local government as stipulated by the laws?
He refused because he's corrupt. He refused because he's been powered by the governors, the past governor Kowa, and their lives. So,
Mr. Evans, do you have your fact to back these allegations that you are making at the moment?
Yes, I do, and I'm telling you the fact. Okay, they cannot stand me eyeball to eyeball and tell me that they can publish that document, because the revenue, the way they spend it, the way they take advantage of our people. And if you go to Delta State, if you go to the local government area, you see the level of poverty there, and you'll be sorry for the kind of leadership that's an affliction on the people. So we're saying that we cannot be citizens, we cannot be indigents of this local government and allow things like this to go unquestioned. Okay, that is why we went to court. So they should produce and publish all records expenditures, what comes to the Delta State local government areas, and what is expended and what is left. And also the third defendant, that is the local government councillors themselves, who by their house standing order are supposed to come to work twice every week. They don't come at all. Sometimes they come once in a week, once in a month, and sometimes they don't come at all. So all those revenues, okay, they have to calculate it and hand it over back to government, because they are being paid salaries every month.
Just a moment.
And they don't do anything.
Just a moment. Just a moment, Barrister Evans Ufeli. Can litigation compel compliance with what you have described happening in Delta State, and its governance really failed at the local government across Nigeria?
Yes, litigation can compel compliance, and that is why we opt for litigation, because we cannot take the laws into our hands. Okay? Litigation can, if the court make an order to that effect, compliance will become critical. And that is why we are seeking for an order of Mandamus to compel them to do what they ought to do by law. And as to whether local government is being felt at, whether governance is being felt at local government level in Nigeria all across the country, except for a few states that are properly monitored. Many states, local governments is just a jamboree, it's just a place where the governor of a state and past governors use to launder funds, take resources that belong to the people, expend it, use it for elections, buy luxurious cars, live in opulence, while the people at the local government are living in darkness, in squalor, in poverty, in all kinds of reckless living. Okay, diseases, they have no medical health care at the local government level. They have nothing practical at the local government level. In Delta State, I'm telling you, if you check what comes to us in terms of derivation and what is therefore expended on the indigenous and citizens of that state, you will see the grave injustice that these politicians have done to our people. And so we can no longer allow them to squander our resources like
it's a fine place
without giving account of sin.
It's a fine place to live it. Lawyer and public affairs analyst Evans Ufeli, and we hope that the president has been speaking concerning this issue of local government autonomy in Nigeria, and local government and the grassroots will definitely comply with this development to bring more development to the grassroots. Evans Ufeli, thank you so much for joining us on TVC News this hour.
A pleasure.